Now at 5, a Joplin business breaks ground on a big new expansion in Pittsburgh that could bring jobs and an economic boost. Also, we'll explain why the Neosho, Missouri School District is getting a $1 million grant. And we lose a pro wrestling icon, remembering Hulk Hogan.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin-based Eagle pitcher breaks ground for its newest facility coming to Pittsburgh. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The 20,000 square foot building is expected to offer an economic boom to the city, creating at least 50 new jobs. First year revenue generation expectations are at $10 million, with production largely serving the U.S. Department of Defense. The expansion is a continuation of decades-long partnership between the company and the city of Pittsburgh. The city is investing in the construction of the facility, which will be repaid over the next 10 years with interest through a lease.
We have a few plants that are outside the area. We've had plants on the East Coast, West Coast, and it's hard to beat the Midwest workforce. And I think there's a loyalty to the mission that we support, and the people here really understand that and are dedicated to the missions that we do.
Eagle pitcher staff say they expect the facility to be fully operational around this time next year. Construction is estimated to take 8 months, and it'll take 2 to 3 months to move in equipment. McCune, Kansas is dealing with mass resignations from city government. A letter is posted on the door of the McCune City Hall. It states that due to unexpected and simultaneous resignations of the mayor, the council president, 2 council members, the city clerk, and both the public works superintendents, the governing body of the city of McCune currently lacks a quorum.
I can no longer fulfill my seat due to harassment from a councilman towards city employees. I stand with the mayor. Enough is enough. I can no longer just sit back and watch this happen to good people. 4 clerks, 4 superintendents in less than 2 years. I filed an ouster act previously, and the county attorney's office refused to do anything on this on his behavior. Nothing has changed but gotten worse. He still harasses the city clerk at every meeting. The city clerk, who does an excellent job.
We reached out to Councilmember Jason Hahn and the city attorney Dawson French, but did not get a comment. There's going to be a special meeting at City Hall tonight at 6:30 in McCune. The Neosho, Missouri School District has received a $1 million grant to transform literacy education. The grant's called the Comprehensive Literacy State Development Grant. It's funded by the U.S. Department of Education. The district says this funding isn't just about teaching students to read, but making sure they also understand what they read.
We're talking things like books, items for phonics instruction, developing our reading comprehension skills. So our grant will really help us gather the materials that will allow us to be successful in implementing those strategies.
Nearly $5.9 million was allocated from the U.S. Department of Education to schools across the state of Missouri. Stays hot out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, another hot, humid day for us. Temps right back up into the mid-90s for afternoon highs, but we do have some thunderstorms out there. These are mainly going to skirt just in our far northwestern counties. Maybe Yates Center may get a random storm later, Fredonia or Neodesha, Chanute, Iola. Everybody else is pretty much going to stay dry, as most of those storms stay a little bit closer to the I-35 corridor. Through the evening, very hot, very humid, 90s into the 80s. It's 93 in Joplin, it's 95 in Pittsburgh, so very hot across the region. Plus, it's humid as well. Let's go through time. You can see these scattered storms kind of skirting our northern counties as we get deep into the evening hours, and then most of these will stay northwest of the region, but still something we'll keep our eyes on and talk more about this here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. If there's a fighter who single-handedly turned wrestling into mainstream entertainment, that would be Hulk Hogan. The man known as the Hulkster died today in Florida after medics were called for an apparent cardiac arrest. He was 71. Bradley Blackburn has his story.
His wild personality, pumped up physique, and handlebar mustache made him the face of professional wrestling.
We're seeing what this guy is really meant.
Hulk Hogan enthralled fans with iconic matches like this one, slamming his one-time ally Andre the Giant and pinning the 7'4", 520-pound megastar.
Hulk Hogan, he dropped the big leg on him.
In 1984, he defeated Iron Sheik to win his first of 12 championships, marking the beginning of Hulkamania. He was the main attraction at the first WrestleMania in 1985, helping to push professional wrestling into the mainstream. The WWE posted condolences, calling Hogan one of pop culture's most recognizable figures. Born in Augusta, Georgia, Hogan's real name was Terry Bollea. With his enormous success in the ring, he also took a stab at Hollywood, appearing in Rocky III and in a reality TV show, Hogan Knows Best. His legacy also comes with controversy. In 2021, a jury awarded him $115 million after he accused Gawker of violating his privacy. The website had posted footage from a sex tape of him with the then wife of his former best friend.
It's turned my world upside down.
He was also briefly fired by WWE after a leaked audio recording revealed him using racial slurs. He apologized and called the incident the biggest mistake of his life.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
In recent years, he took his fighting spirit to the political ring, campaigning for President Trump at last year's Republican National Convention. As usual, Hogan at the center of it all, bringing the crowd to its feet. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now, recently, Hogan began investing in alternatives to theatrical professional wrestling, announcing plans in April to serve as the first commissioner for the Real American Freestyle organization, which describes itself as the first unscripted pro wrestling league in the world. Still ahead, how much do you really need to walk?
Tracking your steps to stay fit? I'm Tina Krause with the new magic number researchers say can boost your health.
Plus, the disturbing finding concerning young people who vape. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, researchers say they may know the reason the current bird flu outbreak hasn't been as deadly to humans as previous outbreaks have. A study by Penn State found that immunity to a common seasonal flu virus also offers protection from severe illness from H5N1, also known as bird flu. Typically, bird flu kills more than half of the people it infects. The current outbreak is causing mostly mild symptoms. Teens who smoke and vape have higher rates of depression and anxiety. A study from West Virginia University looked at data on 60,000 middle and high school students and found about 1 in 5 had used tobacco products. Among that group, more than a quarter reported experiencing depression and anxiety, higher than students who don't smoke. While the cause is unclear, researchers say there is an association between tobacco use and mental health issues. When it comes to tracking steps to stay fit, a new study shows 10,000 might not be the magic number after all. International researchers found moving less can still reduce the risk of chronic diseases and even death. Tina Krause reports from London.
It's the lunch break, but there's no rest for colleagues Lori Othen and Kate Kinning as they chase their daily step goals.
I'm currently on 12,000 today.
I aim for 12,500 a day.
But new research finds just 7,000 steps could be the sweet spot for better health.
People who did 2,000 steps a day, which is a really low number, compared to 7,000 steps a day, the mortality risk was nearly halved in those who were more active at 7,000 steps a day.
Dr. Barbara Jeffress co-authored an international study looking at data from more than 160,000 adults. Those with step counts of 7,000 a day versus 2,000 reduced their risk of many health conditions, including dementia, cardiovascular disease, depression, type 2 diabetes, and cancer.
We could see quite significant and meaningful health benefits.
Should all of us be counting our steps?
I think steps are a great metric that people can relate to, but it doesn't tell us if we're doing them fast or slow, if we're going for a leisurely walk or a more intense run or jog. We must also include some of the activities which raise our heart rate and get us breathing harder to get the full benefit from exercise.
And while some have already blown past 7,000 steps, you guys are kind of overachievers.
Yeah.
Jeffress says progress may count more than perfection.
Not everybody needs to reach 10,000 steps. We can still all do well at a lower level than that.
Every step counts.
Absolutely.
Because researchers found even smaller strides can deliver big benefits. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
Let me count my steps here. The research published in the Lancet Public Health also found that even modest step counts, around 4,000 steps per day, are linked to better health. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, prices your family should expect to see as you do your back-to-school shopping.
And a few of us will get some thunderstorms for us tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, another hot and very humid day for us once again today. High temps into the mid-90s. Heat index above 100 degrees, but we are tracking some thunderstorms. If you want some rain, most of this is going to stay in our far northwestern counties and really track from Wichita, Topeka over toward Kansas City, where they're going to see a lot of rain. Some flash flooding areas, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain out across east central Kansas up through northwestern parts of Missouri. Most of us are dry, but we are tracking these guys in our far northwestern counties from Eureka up toward Burlington, just northwest of Yates Center. These will continue to track off toward the north and to the east. They may advance a little bit farther toward the southeast, but not much. So most of us will stay dry. We'll see if a few of these guys can get into Fredonia, Yates Center, Chanute, Iola late this evening. Besides that, they kind of skirt off toward the east. We stay dry. Some additional thunderstorms late tonight in our northwestern counties, and then a warm start, mid-70s. Once again, as we go through the day, there could be 1 or 2 random pop-up storms. Most of us dry on Friday. High temps right back up into the mid-90s, 94, 95, 96 degrees. Let's go into Friday evening. Looks pretty good, mostly clear skies. And then again, late tomorrow night, a few more thunderstorms, but again, mainly just in our far northwestern counties. As we go into Saturday morning, a few hit and miss storms popping up again, and much of the same by 5 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. So over the next 2 days, bottom line is hot, humid, random storm for most of us. Day planner on your Friday, 90 by noon, 95 for an afternoon high. Let's look at your weekend. 94 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Heat index above 100 degrees, very similar to what we've seen all week. And again, a chance for an isolated storm. All right, it's Thursday. Our new drought tracker always pops out on Thursday. I know it's been dry this past week, but we've had so much rain the past few months. Here's the good news. The soil is nice and moist, so we don't have any drought conditions across the region. Looks pretty good. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo, just west of Seneca, Missouri. Low to mid 90s right now. Humidity is still up there. Look at our dew points. Mid, even upper 70s, 80 in Commerce, which is at the top of the scale. So that's why it feels so soupy outside. And our heat index again, as we get into the next couple days, up there again. We're going to have a heat index 100 to about 104 on Friday. Saturday, maybe a smidge cooler, 100 to about 103 across the region. But yes, it is going to be up there. Big dome of high pressure still in charge. So you got the tropical moisture feeding right up toward Kansas City. That's why they are getting the flooding rain. This high is just a little too close to us for us to get any heavy amounts of rain as we go through the next couple days. 95 tomorrow. Let's go 94 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Mid-90s through the beginning of next week. But notice we start to back down into the upper 80s to near 90 late next week.
Yeah, I see one of those temps starting with the digit 8.
Yeah,
that's a welcome
not bad.
change. Thanks, Doug. Hot or not, it's a tropical paradise at the 132nd annual Allen County Fair, and the Baby Barn, it's one of the main attractions. First established in 1978 inside a barn built in the 1930s, the exhibit features moms and their babies, including goats, a kangaroo, mini zebras, and more.
To interact the community with animals. So many of the little kids and the elderly, I think, get the most enjoyment out of the Baby Barn because they're things that you don't normally see.
That fair wraps up on Sunday, and it's one of a number of fairs now underway or beginning soon in the 4 states. If you're looking for more fun events in the area but don't know where to turn, well, we've got you covered. Just check out this handy QR code. It'll take you straight to the events page of our website, koamnewsnow.com. Just scan it with your phone right now. You have that phone in your hand, and you'll find information on all kinds of family fun events, including plenty of information on those upcoming and ongoing county fairs. The events page at koamnewsnow.com. Coming up, an effort to protect women who use Uber. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a safety warning for families who own certain above-ground pools. Listen up. Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup are recalling certain above-ground pools that are 48 inches and taller because of a drowning hazard. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says straps that wrap around the pools on the outside of supporting poles, they might create a foothold, allowing child to access the pool even without a ladder or steps. The agency says it believes 9 children have drowned that way in the pools since 2007. Uber says it's starting a program to let women passengers pick female drivers or share a ride with other women. Testing of the Women Preferences program is set to begin in the next few weeks in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit. In a statement, Uber says women customers will see an option called Women Drivers in the app. Kids are out enjoying summer, but some savvy parents already have those school supplies ready to go. Derek James shows us how inflation and tariff rates are influencing back-to-school shopping.
Summer is in full swing, but Andrea Cuneo has already tackled back-to-school shopping for her 2 kids.
And I'm done.
You're done.
Except for shoes. I'll let the kids pick out their pair of shoes and then we're good to go.
62% of shoppers say they'll begin back-to-school shopping before August, up over 8 percentage points from last year, according to a report by Coresight Research. Coresight's John Mercer says shoppers are seeking deals and value for money while preempting tariff-driven price increases down the line.
Tariffs have gone up. Even if deals are struck, the baseline of tariffs has gone up. More tariffs are due to come in on August 1st, and the flow through to prices is really only going to be upward from tariffs.
Angela Ryan is focusing on comparison shopping.
I wanted to make sure I was getting the lowest price. So with 2 kids, when you have to buy 4 sets of markers or 4 sets of crayons, I want to make sure I'm paying the lowest price.
One strategy? Shop secondhand for durable items or use what you already have.
So we try to reuse backpacks. I don't need a new one every year unless it's worn out.
Still, Mercer expects back-to-school spending to be up 3.3% compared to last year.
We think higher income consumers will drive retail growth. We think lower income consumers will be much more cautious.
Bargain hunters can also use store apps, loyalty programs, and cashback offers to stack those deals. Derek James, CBS News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Early back-to-school shoppers took advantage of the extended Amazon Prime Day event and competing retail sales over that same period in early July. The National Retail Federation predicts Americans are going to spend more. A final check of the forecast is next.
For State Hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, we're going to meet the post office employees who work around the clock to make sure scribbles and chicken scratches don't stop meal deliveries. Then on KOAM News at 6, we'll hear from the Pittsburgh City Manager about the economic impact of that big Eagle pitcher expansion. Plus, we'll hear from the former McCune City Clerk about those sudden mass resignations at City Hall we told you about. And a pitcher for Missouri Southern and the Joplin Outlaws receives high honors. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Hope you have the sunscreen and something cold to drink if you're going to be outside. It is hot out there.
It's very hot. Now, our northwestern counties, if you live up toward Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, Fredonia, Neosho, you may get some thunderstorms tonight. Everybody else mainly dry. Random storm over the next 2 days, but the 90s, they hang out really for the rest of the month. I do want to say the first 2 weeks of August, not too shabby.
You do want to say that.
I am going to say that.
You are going to say that. Even better. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.